Autism's taught me a lot, so I'm grateful for that. I don't aim to be an autism expert. I aim to be an expert on my children. So today I've got myself out here at this nature blind. Something I like to do periodically is get out into nature, just as far away from society as I can. I can still hear like some construction vehicles off in the distance. We're not super removed, but if you look around, like you just feel like in touch with nature. Even just like looking at the camera right now, tell me that's not super cool. Just a great way to start my day. Bringing you guys out here with me and just breathing for like an hour or more, as much time as I can give myself before I get back to the grind. I want to lower my voice a little bit so I don't scare off the nature around. I don't see too much right here, you know. Lots of times I like to come out to this spot and sort of stalk blue herons. It's one of my favorite animals. I see them all the time because I'm looking out for them and they're around. You know, they're very much native to this area. I'm sort of chasing an elusive photo of a heron in flight, you know, still in air. So really I always kind of have that goal in mind, but at the same time, even if I don't see a heron at all, I just come out here and relax. But I will get my camera out. I brought the big boy, so I'm gonna shut up now and try to see what I can see. Right on cue, I spotted a heron up in a tree, so it might swoop down. It just took off. I have to review my photos because I feel like I missed it again. Oh, so close. Just a little out of focus there. So close. All right, come on. You know, I knew I wanted to make a video today, but I didn't really have any plan as I came out here. Figured I'd probably get inspired as I came out into nature. It's a beautiful park here that also has all these amazing nature trails branching off in all directions from it, so it's really perfect for me. Took my cameras with me and just went out for a little adventure, which is awesome. I would love it if either of my boys would do this sort of activity with me someday. I mean, like if it were ever in their natural curiosity and their real interest to come out for a few hours with me and really just relax. Maybe even get into photography. Oh, I could have such good times with them. I wouldn't try to force them into photography or anything just for my own selfish benefit, but would be cool. But I'm sure they'll probably have interest that I can really dive into with them as well. So anything that they're into, I'm perfectly willing to try it out and try to get some enjoyment out of it. And I think that sort of mentality is what I want to be as an autism parent. Everybody has their individual experiences with autism, whether you're an autistic individual yourself or you're part of an autism family or a friend. You can research it, you can try to find out as much as you can, try to understand other people's perspectives. But for me anyways, I don't aim to be an autism expert. I aim to be an expert on my children, because I think it's just a case-by-case thing. And if I can be an expert on my kids and just keep an open mind when it comes to all the things I hear about in the autism community, that's the closest to becoming an autism expert that I can hope to achieve. Sorry about the wind. There's some wind right now and this might be messing up the audio, but man, it feels really good to me just sitting here. I think it really helps me to just come out here and not think for a while, so I can then, you know, go about the rest of my day with energy and purpose. I always get around to thinking too, and today it's sort of this thought that I've had so many times throughout, like since we became parents, since we became autism parents, this thought of, you know, are we doing enough for our kids? Do I need to be reading more books, attending more seminars and researching? And when we first realized that Isaac was on the spectrum, my temptation was to be like, well, I'm going to be an expert on this. I'm going to know everything there is to know about autism, and I'm going to pave the path for him. But honestly, the more time I've spent as an autism parent, the more I'm starting to think you don't necessarily pave the path, you know? Sometimes it just seems like you got to just do your best and be there on the path. and not think that you've got to control everything. If I don't know the ins and outs and everything there is to know about my own child, then am I going to be the best parent I can be? Always have an open mind. Let them lead me. Be willing to lead them. Experience life together. And I don't even think this is like a strictly autism parenting thing. I think this is just general parenting, you know? It's super tempting to try to control everything and have your child grow up to be a miniature version of yourself, but the reality is they are themselves. They're already their own thing. And I think if I didn't have children on the spectrum, I might have still been sort of blind to that, like, because I probably would be having more success coaching them into being like me. But do I really want that? I don't want to I don't want a mini me around. I mean, I'm pretty awesome, but one of me is plenty. Parenting two boys on the spectrum, it's like immediately obvious, like, well, they're totally their own person. There's a ton that I can't control. I can teach them stuff, and I try a lot. I try to teach them a lot. But if I think it's a one-way street and that they can't teach me anything, then I'm thinking about it the wrong way. And autism's taught me that. Autism's taught me a lot. So I'm grateful for that. I just think there's so much that adults can learn from children that we just sort of ignore. Because sort of, I don't know, old school ideas, you know, like speak when spoken to and such. You're just a kid. You don't know anything. You don't have my life experience. I think life experience can teach you a lot, but it can also blind you to a lot. Like, you ever notice the people who tend to ask questions about autism in public to you are children? It's a curiosity, and they're not ashamed to pursue it. It's really a beautiful thing that I try to get back in touch with all the time, and I think coming out to places like this helps me sort of get back in touch with that. Oh my gosh, the sun coming out on me all of a sudden. I don't know where all this came from. I just put the camera down and started recording, and it turned into something of a video diary. But I'll probably keep the video short and sweet for you guys this time. Please do feel free to leave anything you've learned in your parenting careers, or if you're not a parent, just any words of wisdom in the comments. Because as I've found, looking at the autism community through any sort of narrow focus is a bit of a disservice to the broad spectrum that it really is. So I mean it when I say that I genuinely value every perspective that I see when people comment with us. So thank you. Thanks for being part of this community. We'll see you soon.